Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk. Let's talk Lakers basketball. I want to get my thoughts on yesterday's win over the Mavericks. Lakers winning 114 to 113. The game came down to the wire. LeBron James split a couple free throws, almost missed two free throws. Would have sent the game into overtime. It's crazy that the game actually came down to the wire when the Lakers were up by 18 at one point. They came back. We went up by 14. We were up 14 with 3 minutes left in the game. And for some reason, somehow, I think they took the lead at some point. It's becoming far too common for us not being able to close out games. And we played pretty well for the most part in this game that we should have won this game easily. But for some reason down the stretch, they got the momentum and they came back and hit some big shots, and our defense wasn't there, and we almost gave this game away. But we got the game. We're 3-5 now in this season. What I like out of this game, the main thing that stands out to me in this game was the minutes that Luke Walton played the starters versus the role players. And it was like an old school type of game where the starters all played 30 plus minutes and also closed out the game, where the bench players just got like below 20 minutes. KCP getting 20 minutes. I would have played Stevenson a little bit more than KCP, but it seems like the role players or the bench players were pretty much out of it this game. Like Rondo wasn't a factor, didn't play that many minutes. Jonathan Williams, Lance Stevenson, KCP played 20. Odd man out is Josh Hart. You know, when we were playing something like we're playing all the starters like 30 plus minutes, it seems like Josh Hart is going to be out of it. And he had a pretty weak game. 3 points, wasn't a factor. He's better than what he showed yesterday. So it looked like you could see the frustration on Josh Hart's face, that he's been in a few, I think he's been in a few, games where he hasn't really been playing himself, where he's way better than that. I think he started off the season pretty well, but it looks, I do like this step that Luke Walton has taken. In a sense, I like us to get to a stable lineup where starters are playing starter minutes and role players are just that, to kind of fill in and give these starters a breather, and then you put your strongest lineup out there. And Lonzo, McGee, Ingram, LeBron, and KCP are essentially our strongest lineup, scoring wise, length wise, and things like that. So I like where he's going. Obviously, some guys are going to get their minutes cut, and that's going to be the case. The standouts for me, Lonzo Ball locking up Dennis Smith Jr., held Dennis Smith Jr. to 5 points, a negative 29 in the plus minus stat. Bothered him all night, didn't give him any easy shots. When he did, get by Lonzo, JaVale McGee was there to block his shot. JaVale McGee ended up with 5 blocks, 16 and 15 boards. Played huge, 35 plus minutes. This is way out of JaVale McGee's league, but he's that good. So if he can keep up, I just learned that he had asthma not too long ago. I didn't even know he had asthma, but if he can keep up, good for him. So Lonzo had a good bounce back game, 12 points, hit 3 from 3-point line, played good defense, had 7 assists, and really looked good out there. Like, it was night and day from the game before. So I think he even was quoted saying that he was lethargic or lackadaisical that last game and wasn't really in it. And he had to get back in and got rebound and things like that. But Lonzo played really well. So I give it up to Lonzo for bouncing back. JaVale McGee balled out. Ingram played good defense on, what's his name? Luka Doncic. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Yeah, Doncic or whatever. The rookie. That dude's dope. He's a real deal. And Brandon Ingram gave him some fits at spots and really to make it easy for him. So I give it up for Brandon Ingram for playing good defense. For bothering him with his length. Brandon Ingram, 17 points, things like that. And I think played decent defense. LeBron James, I like that he was assertive this game. I think for more than forcing it at the very end, I think he was assertive in spots very early throughout the game. I don't like the fact that LeBron James played 39 minutes. I think that's a little too much. We got to get back to playing him around 33, 34 minutes and give Josh Hart those minutes and things like that. But game came down to the wire, so I think Luke had to play him. Kuzma chipped in with his 18. We're still struggling on defense. I think the weak spot in that lineup is Kuzma in terms of like defending bigs and things like that. Also, LeBron James also doesn't play that much defense throughout the game. Doesn't like exert himself too much on the defensive end. He saves himself, so we all know that. So you got two guys who are kind of not. But Kuzma actually had a block that I like, and he had 8 rebounds, which is good. But on that end of it, we also don't have a good backup for JaVale McGee. That's like our long-term sort of problem. We need somebody. JaVale McGee, I don't think, can play 35 minutes a game. So I think long-term, we need to trade one of our guards. I think we need to trade Rondo. I think Rondo would be an ideal guy. Either Rondo or KCP, package one of those guys with like Michael Beasley. Those are 1-year contracts. Send them off to some team where we can come back with maybe an athletic center or some athletic defensive big that we could utilize with, JaVale McGee. Everyone's saying Mo Wagner is that guy, but he's not ready yet. If he comes back and he's playing, then I think we'll be okay. But if even if Mo Wagner comes in, I still think we should trade one of our guards for a big, in my opinion. Jonathan Williams gives us that, but he's just a little too small, a little light in the back pocket, like I mentioned in my last video, I think. But for the most part, that's where we're hurting. And we got to learn how to close our game. But we were up 18. And like every single in the NBA, when you're up 18, you always tend to, take your foot off the gas pedal. Other teams tend to catch momentum, and sometimes that happens. But I was pleased with the game. I just wasn't pleased with the ending. And Skip Bayless showed a stat, or he showed a highlight of LeBron James not even touching the ball the last like few minutes left. We were running plays, like Luke Walton was running plays for other players, but not running plays for LeBron James. That's something that is pretty weird. I would say your best guy, the best guy on the planet, you run plays for him, even if, if we're down. I know we're trying to teach guys how to close out games and things like that, but no, you run plays for your superstar. Put the ball in LeBron James' hand, let him attack early and create. We were running plays, had one play where it led to JaVale McGee shooting a sky hook and things like that he missed. And but for the most part, Skip was getting on Luke Walton, was not sure about that coaching right then and there. And I've been saying it before. We all say it. LeBron James got to close out these games. And he can't shy away from having the ball in his hands. We can't leave it to our other guys. We shouldn't have risked going 2-6 in that game just to prove a point that our young guys need to learn how to close games now. Give it to LeBron James, let him finish, and we go home with our superstar closing out games. That's what they're there for. Anyway, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. Holla at your boy. We got Portland on Saturday. If we win that game, that would tell me that we're turning the table, because that's a huge game going into Portland. Playing Portland, they're playing well. So we'll see how that goes. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. As always, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MikeSportsLA. Holla at your boy. Peace.